I set out on a little reading adventure trying to find a 5-star book. What I did not know would happen is that I would find more than one, and that an arc I was going to be reading would end up taking over the entire bookish world.
Hey friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jordan. Thank you so much for being here. I don't normally sound like this. I'm getting over being pretty darn sick. I have like a really funny voice right now, but we're gonna ignore that. I am very excited about this video that I'm starting. I don't know how long this video is gonna take to get out. I'm doing something different, and that is basically, it's a reading vlog, but the reading vlog will not stop until I find a 5-star read. I have seen some other bigger YouTubers do this video and it just sounded so fun, so I'm gonna give it a try, and fingers crossed that I read a 5-star read sometime soon. I don't give 5 stars out very easily. Sometimes I think I'm like too hard on books. When I love a book, I give it somewhere in that 4-star range. A book has to like wreck me or shock me. Like, it has to give me so many emotions. There's a lot of books that I like and I'm like, wow, that book is amazing, you have to read it, but I still don't give it quite 5 stars. It's special to get 5 stars, so I feel like it could take a while for me to find one. Watch this be a video where like my next read is 5 stars. Before I get into it, I would love to hear in the comments below what you're currently reading. Just say hey, let me know what you're reading. So I did literally just finish Things We Hide from the Light. I did already talk about this one pretty extensively in a vlog, but I wanted to include it here to just get the ball rolling. This is book 2 in the Knock 'em Out series. Book 1 is Things We Never Got Over. This one follows the brother from the first book. His name is Nash. He is a good guy. He's a cop. He is struggling with some mental health disorders from some PTSD of some stuff he endured. He meets Nina, who is the bad girl, and they just play a little game of this back and forth. They inconveniently but conveniently become neighbors. She's kind of always there for him. He literally adores her but kind of pushes her away. She pushes him away because she doesn't know how to do friendships and love due to some things that she has endured. So it was a very like emotional tug back and forth read. I didn't love it until like halfway through. I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to love it, but it does land at like 4 stars for me. I love this town and these side characters. Like, I could live there. Every time that all the characters are together at like a dinner or just hanging out, I'm laughing out loud. Like, the way that she writes the engagement with each other is gold, and I just feel like I got a lot out of this book, but it still was just like 4 stars for me. So next, I am in the middle of 2 other books. The Friend Zone, I do not have a bookmark in, so I don't know where I'm at. I'm pretty positive I'm like halfway through this one. I actually have 2 copies because I'm also reading my friend's copy that she annotated. I am loving this book. You're following Kristen, who has a dog named Stuntman Mike. Like, say less. How stinking adorable. And it opens with her like meeting this guy through an accidental situation, and it turns out that this guy Josh is her best friend's fiance's best man, so like they're kind of thrown together. She needs his help with some work, so he's like coming to her house and helping her with work. She's in a relationship, but it's kind of like a bizarre situation. Her heart doesn't seem like she's really in it, and needless to say, Josh and Kristen are having some serious chemistry they are trying to ignore. For me, what's getting me with this one that I'm really loving is, of course, the banter. I'm such a sucker for good banter in a book. I'm laughing out loud. I love their characters. I have a feeling that this book is going to end up making me cry. It's dealing with some heavier undertones, like a heavier story of infertility. This might end up being 5 stars for me. It's going in that direction, so we'll see what happens. But the most important right now, if this book isn't 5 stars, I'm literally going to be shocked. The Fourth Wing. I unboxed this one in another video. The publisher sent me this advanced copy. By the time this video comes out, I'm sure it will be out. It comes out May 2nd. I picked it up like right away because I'm in a fantasy mood. The synopsis sounds so good and I'm flying through it. So I have like a quarter of this book left and that's it. And like I said, if this isn't 5 stars, I'm going to be actually shocked. It's amazing. But let me just tell you guys like what about this book is so good. As usual, I have like all my notes in my phone. So far it's about this girl, Violet. She has been training to be a scribe, but then she ends up being forced by her mom to go and become like one of their dragon riders, their warriors basically. And it was kind of like a shock to her. She doesn't want to do this, so she goes, and now she has to like go through all this training, but she's tiny, she's fragile, so it doesn't seem like things are gonna go very well. There's so much going on in this book with this cast of characters that are like forced to being riders because their parents like deflected and kind of formed a rebellion years ago. So there's like these other people within the school of training that are kind of like the outcasts. They're kind of the ones that she has been taught are like not to be trusted. They all are trying to earn a dragon, to be a dragon rider, but there's a limited number of dragons, and so throughout this school they can like kill each other. So you've got the Hunger Games trope, you've got How to Train Your Dragon, because it turns out these dragons can talk to their rider. They can like communicate telepathically, and the dragons narrations and character is so amazing. I just love these dragon characters so much. And then you also have this like divergent dystopian vibe because there is the different groups that you could choose when you're 20 years old to go into. And so she still dabbles a lot within the scribes because she loves books, she loves the scribes quadrant. And I think that's one of the best parts about this book is because Violet is like so small and fragile, she has like an actual like physical, I don't want to say disability, but like she lives in constant pain. Her ligaments and stuff tear easily, and so there is like this element of almost like a chronic thing going on with her, and I am obsessed with that aspect because you've got this fierce, like stinking fierce female lead. She like has to outwit and outsmart people instead of just relying on her physical strength, and I'm just so many moments just like cheering for her and blown away by how stinking like creative she is to survive in this place that she's been put. You also have powers, so when they bond with their dragons they get a certain power. So there's like these superhero powers that are coming into play. It's got all these things that are reminding me of other great stories, but it's so uniquely its own that it's not at all like a copy. It's just like you literally took everything I love about this and this story and gave me this, and it feels like actual gold in my hands, and I will be literally shocked if this isn't not only a 5-star read, but like one of my favorite books of the entire year. The forced proximity, the enemies to lovers, like just all of it. It's literally amazing. So I will update you guys as I read. Fingers crossed. I finished Fourth Wing. I don't know why the bookmark's in there. Like, ignore that. Oh my gosh. I think you already know what I'm gonna say. 5 freaking huge, ginormous, shining bright like a diamond stars for this book. Oh, it was so good. I even took one of the dragon tattoos from the box that the publisher sent me, put that on my arm. Oh my gosh, the end, my mind was blown. I did not see that end coming at all. I'm not gonna like recap and repeat everything that I already said earlier in the vlog, but I do have a couple things to add. I would say this is like new adult more than young adult because there's a lot of dropping of the F-bomb, which personally I could have done without. It wasn't horrible, but it is throughout the whole book. There's 2 open door scenes. They're not super graphic, but they're definitely open door, and that's like in the last quarter of the book. The world building, I read a lot of fantasy, so I can only speak for myself. I know everyone's got like different levels of world building they're willing to tolerate, but I thought this was very seamlessly done. I did pre-order the other edition that has the sprayed edges and the dragons because I have to have it, and I definitely, obviously, recommend this book. I did confirm with the author. The second one comes out in November. I'm so excited. I'm so ready. I don't know how I'm gonna wait, but obviously I have to wait. I truly love fantasy, but it's not often that like a fantasy feels super unique to me. This just delivered. It delivered every single thing I needed. I'm absolutely obsessed. I literally have said that like 4 times. Even the dragons had such good personality. I just think the characters were so well written. I could just sit here and go on and on and on and on. There's one quote though that I want to share with you that I loved. It said, "I know that in this moment he has the power to break me, and I'd let him." Swoon. So good. I'm sold. Fan for life. Gonna go get a real dragon tattoo. So with that being said, this was like book 2 for this find a 5-star vlog. We're gonna just keep going because I am still reading Friend Zone, and I predicted that that is gonna be either 5 stars or pretty close. So I don't know. We're just gonna go. Like maybe I just go and see if I can find another 5-star read. Alright, I have some updates. I finished The Friend Zone, and I really thought at the beginning of this book it was going to be a 5-star read. Let me unpack this for you. This book, it does not deserve hate. However, the beginning of this book, I really was like, this is going to be 5 stars. I loved the banter. I immediately was very interested in Kristen and Josh. I was just like really excited for this book. And then midway through, I grew so frustrated with this book that I knew immediately it was not going to be a 5-star read. Kristen specifically started to frustrate the nonsense out of me. I know like the miscommunication trope is really annoying for people, and I get it, like that is really annoying, but what annoys me more than miscommunication trope is just total lack of communication trope, like where someone and just have the conversation, just say the thing. And then the last quarter, stuff started rolling again, and I was so invested. I couldn't put it down. I read till like 1 in the morning. I had to finish. Things finally moved in a different direction. So do I think that the middle could have been shortened? Because that did take away from my overall enjoyment of this book, but the end really redeemed itself. So I am going to give this one 4 stars overall. I'm very disappointed that it wasn't 5 stars. I feel like it had so much potential to be 5 stars, but one theme in this book that I loved was the friendship between Kristen and her best friend Sloane. Those were the parts that I feel like I was highlighting more than anything. It was definitely a book worth reading. I just think this was like such a good book for women because in one way or another, we all struggle. Like we all have something, you know, and so realizing that we can be loved for just like who we are, I think was such a valuable point in this book. So anyways, with that being said, I'm determined now to find another 5-star read. I feel like this was supposed to be a video on it will stop when I find a 5-star read, but I found one like immediately, thank God. But now I'm like, okay, how many 5-star reads can I find? So I'm kind of doing a little twist here where I'm gonna pick up 2 different books that I predict are going to be 5-star reads. One book I'll be picking up tomorrow that comes out is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. So I will start that one tomorrow, and I predict that one will be 5 stars. And then I also just got in the mail for my birthday, Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. This is the 3rd book in the Magnolia Parks world, but it's technically the 2nd book for Magnolia Parks. I started it immediately when I got my hands on it, so I'm gonna be reading this one and Meet Me at the Lake. I do predict them both to be 5-star reads, so let's see if I can get another 1 or 2 5-star reads into this video. Wish me luck. May the stars rain down on these books. I finished Meet Me at the Lake. If you don't already know, because I can't remember if I said it already in this vlog, Every Summer After was my favorite book of 2022, so this was my most anticipated of 2023, and I actually just recorded a birthday vlog, and I
reviewed this one for that as well, so you maybe already saw that video where I reviewed this one. But if you didn't, this one ended up kind of disappointing me, and I'm so sad because I really predicted it would be another 5-star read based on how much I loved Every Summer After. But I think that was exactly the issue, was that I could not stop hoping for the same vibe, comparing it. I think it just like doomed this one. A couple things I want to mention is like 100 pages in, I was pretty bored. Fern suffers some loss and she takes over her family business, which, by the way, the loss in this is pretty sad. So if that's a trigger for you, please tread very carefully. But she takes over this family resort on a lake, and I would have loved more summer vibes, and instead it was just a ton of like business talk that felt a little bit overpowering to the rest of the story, and I just was kind of bored with that. Other than that plotline, what's going on is you've got Fern and Will, who met 10 years ago, and they spent 24 hours together and agreed to meet a year later. I loved their moments from the past. Like, that day just was so cute. I really did like Fern and Will's characters, but it didn't sell for me. I think I just don't like that kind of plotline where 10 years later you meet back up and you're adults, but yet you like held on for all these years. It just wasn't very believable to me, despite my own judgments towards that. I did think they were really cute, but in the present timeline, there's just a lot of mystery going on. Like, where was Will? Why didn't he show up? What was going on in his personal life? And I was just like waiting and waiting for it to get to like the point. And so the last 100 pages, it did finally pick up. It definitely bumped it up a star. I am gonna land at like 3.5 stars for this one, which I am pretty mind blown about. I can't believe that. It's an easy read. It's good. It's definitely worth reading. I honestly think it's just a comparison issue for me. But let me tell you, I need a sequel to Every Summer After. So hopefully that is her next book. So I'm gonna give one more chance. I already told you guys that I was predicting these next 2 books to be 5 stars. So I am still reading Magnolia Parks book 3. I am, let's see, 150 pages in and obsessed. Like, still really loving it. I just feel like they're becoming like a comfort set of characters for me. No matter what, I'm closing this vlog after this book. I technically got my 5-star read, but I was so hype and thought I could get more. Maybe I'll get one more. We'll see. I did want to show you guys too, though. I love this world so much that I got these little stickers. This one says, "How's the weather, Parks?" from Magnolia Parks. And then down here is driving lessons with Christian from Daisy Hades. I also have my Gilmore Girls Dragonfly. I had to just show you guys. They're so cute. I'm gonna link the girl's shop below. I found her on Instagram. She also just read Fourth Wing and gave it 5 stars. I am begging her to make stickers for Fourth Wing. Fingers crossed that we have another 5-star book to wrap this video up with. I'm done. I finished Magnolia Parks Long Way Home. I knew it, guys. 5 stars. 5, 10, 20, 50, 100. Take all the stars. I loved this book. It is even better than the first book, better than the second one. I'm just so glad that I was right about this one, because I was wrong about a couple others, and I just really wanted to love this book, and I did. The drama continues, but I loved this one because it felt like we got more of like the raw person of Magnolia, some more of their history, some more of like her struggles. So she wasn't just this perfect bougie type of chick. She became more human to me in this book. There was definitely still the miscommunication and the toxic drama, but I just really enjoy the roller coaster of this one. I just want to read and reread this book, and I can't wait to pick up the next Daisy Hades book, and Jessa Hastings has hinted that book 5 is almost done, which does continue Magnolia and BJ's story, so I cannot stinking wait for that. But this ending destroyed me. I still stand by the fact that it is definitely not for everyone. I feel like there's nothing in between. People either absolutely love it or absolutely hate it. Like, it's a vast difference in how you feel about this book. I tabbed and highlighted so much. I made my husband sit and listen to me for like 30 minutes one day as I just read him some of these quotes. He laughs, and for some reason it sounds like I'm ringing the doorbell of the home I grew up in. She just writes so poetic. The way she puts words together, I'm just like, that is gold. He's the drain in the center of me where all the happy things fall through, and that I feel his absence in everything. Oh, here's one. One look at her stupid eyes and I'm undone. Oh, I could just keep going, but I'm not gonna do that to you guys. So this one was a win. I don't have Fourth Wing with me right now. I'm at my parents' and I brought a whole bag of books, but I do not have Fourth Wing with me. So out of the books that I read, Fourth Wing and Magnolia Parks, they deserve a standing ovation. Like, shocked me with how much I loved them. Highly, highly recommend, especially Fourth Wing. I would 100% recommend Fourth Wing to everyone. This one, maybe not so much. If you started the series and liked it, definitely continue. And then these are the other 3 books that I read, as you saw in the vlog. I do think that you should still try these. I liked them. They're worth reading. They just weren't that 5-star material for me. So that is a wrap. Thank you so much for watching this vlog, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button. Please consider sticking around, and I hope that all of your books are great, and I'll see you in the next video.